In a small corner of a crowded city stood a man named Ravi, with a cart, a few pots, and an old umbrella. Every morning, he arrived before sunrise, his hands trembling from the cold, his heart burning with hope. He wasn't selling fancy dishes, just simple lentil soup, spiced rice, and fried bread. But every plate carried something more: dignity, warmth, and love. People often asked him, "Ravi, why do you work so hard for such little money?" He would just smile and say, "One day I'll open a restaurant, not for the rich but for the hungry." The other vendors laughed. A restaurant? For a man who barely earned enough for dinner? It sounded impossible, but Ravi didn't care. He believed that dreams don't need permission to start, only effort to continue. Each evening, as the city slept, Ravi cleaned his cart, counted his coins, and wrote in a small notebook how much he sold, what went wrong, what people liked. He wasn't educated, but he was learning something far more powerful: understanding people. He noticed that workers came to him not just for food, but because he listened. He remembered names. He asked about their families. And slowly, his small cart became a place of comfort, a place where tired souls found more than a meal. One day, a well-dressed man stopped by. He looked like he had never eaten street food before. He hesitated, but hunger made the decision for him. After the first bite, he smiled. "This is incredible," he said. Ravi just nodded shyly. The next day, that same man returned, this time with a friend, and then another. Soon, office workers were lining up behind factory workers and rickshaw drivers. The line never cared about class, only taste. Weeks turned into months. Ravi saved every extra coin he could. He repaired his cart, added new dishes, painted it bright yellow with red letters: Ravi's Kitchen. People started recognizing that name. The laughter of his customers became music to his mornings. And one evening, under the dim streetlight, he looked at the crowd around his cart and whispered, "It's time." With his savings and a small loan, Ravi rented a single room with cracked walls. He placed 3 tables inside, painted the walls himself, and opened his first restaurant. On the opening day, he didn't have a big banner or fancy advertisements, just a handwritten sign. Same taste, same love, a new home. The crowd that day was unbelievable. Some came out of loyalty, others out of curiosity. By evening, everything was sold out. Ravi stood by the door, tears in his eyes. He realized his dream had just taken its first breath. Years passed. That one-room restaurant grew into a chain. His Ravi's Kitchen became a household name. Now chefs worked where once he stood alone, but he never stopped visiting that old corner street, where it all began. He'd sit there quietly sometimes, watching another young vendor serve food under the same old umbrella. He would walk up, eat a plate, and leave a large tip with just 2 words written on a napkin: "Keep going." Because Ravi knew the empire wasn't built from recipes or riches. It was built from persistence, kindness, and the courage to dream beyond survival. And maybe that's what true success tastes like. Not the flavor of luxury, but the warmth of a story that began on the streets and fed the hearts of millions.